You are far more powerful than you were led to believe. There's a deep power within you that is waiting to be unlocked. That inner god or goddess within you that has the ability to shift and shape the reality around you. Many of us are not aware of this. And in this video, I'm going to give you 3 keys, with the last one leading to healing the sense of powerlessness that many of us carry with us, leading you to finally feel free, leading you to finally being able to live in the present moment. And we're going to talk more about that here in a second. But in embracing these 3 keys, like I have over the last year to 2 years, my life has completely changed. I've unlocked this sense of inner power, this inner potential that I talk about quite often on this channel. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Now, the first key here is what drains your spirit, drains your body. We can all agree that we have a spirit within us, right? And that we're, as human beings, we're not only spirit, but we're also matter combined together. And this journey of life is navigating this, this whole path of life as both spirit and matter. That is the most unique aspect of ourselves. That being said, though, there comes challenges with that. And just like there's gods that we look through religions, look through outside of ourselves, there are gods within us that we create, that we are able to create gods. Yes, because at the end of the day, no matter what you believe, whether it's the God or the universe, there's a divine power. And this divine power resides within us, just as it was used to create us. And so how do we create false gods? False gods of anger, false gods of frustration. We carry these, we idolize the sense of these emotions. We almost make them rule our life. If you're somebody dwelling in anger, realize if you're living through that anger all the time and it's a big part of your life to be angry or carry frustration, that is no different than a god ruling over you and dictating how you should be living your life, ruling your emotions, ruling your responses to certain situations. Because you're a conscious being and you have the ability to either tap into active power, which is the ability to choose and shape and direct your emotions towards specific things, or the passive approach, which many people fall into, chasing dopamine, chasing strong emotions like anger, negative emotions. And the thing is, when we chase negative emotions or we get drawn in passively into negative situations and environments, think of all the different substances available to us, all the different pathways of pleasure that always lead to a negative outcome. When we dwell deeply in these things, when we dabble with these things, it drains our physical body. It not only affects our spirit, but it drains our physical body. And this is where, carrying anger for a long time, for example, or being frustrated at somebody, or fearing the future. Many people are ruled by the god of fear. Fear rules their whole life and keeps them trapped exactly where they are. And in letting these gods rule our life, we give our spiritual essence, our power away, also draining this energy out of our body. And this is where illnesses can eventually manifest, chronic diseases can manifest. There's a whole medical field around energy medicine that is slowly being recognized around this very specific thing. The second key here, and this is talked about in the Christian religion, in the Hindu tradition, in the ancient Jewish traditions, they all talk about this, is throughout life, being both matter and spirit, there's going to be tests to your allegiance to divine power. There are going to be tests to see how you respond to the things above you. And I'm not saying, you need to believe in God, because not everybody does. If you agreed with me on the first point, that you're both matter and spirit, that you have the ability to create as you were created, then also you may recognize that there is a power above you. There is something much bigger than yourself that is the reason why you're here. This power, this divine power, will test your faith. It will test your faith in things outside of yourself. At a soul level, it will test if your soul has this ability to maintain this connection. There's a saying that we tend to look up towards the sky when the ground beneath our feet begins to shake out of control. Perhaps you're in this phase of life where you've been given this almost cosmic baseball bat to the face, where your life is falling apart. Your relationships are not working apart anymore. Being alienated by friends, family. You just got fired from your job. You possibly could be facing homelessness because your funds are running out. These very extreme situations oftentimes either make us lose faith in ourselves and in reality overall, disempowering us, or it's an opportunity to look upwards, to look outside of ourselves, to begin to connect more deeply with the right hemisphere of our brain, which is responsible for more infinite, expansive kind of thought. Many of us in these situations get stuck looking at single trees in a forest rather than looking at the whole forest itself and realizing you're one part of a much bigger picture, but you play just as big of a part in that picture. And so when you make this divine connection, if you're feeling lost right now, to have faith, to have some sort of practice, whether it may be journaling or meditation. We're going to talk about things that you can do to heal, because that's the third key. But there are things you can do to connect more deeply with this spiritual power, this higher power. For me personally, when I was a paramedic and I was getting really, really burnt out, and I didn't even recognize it in myself, because there's this thing with high achievers, with perfectionists, with high performers, where no matter what, you're going to get the job done. Let me know in the comments below if you're somebody who just gets the job done. You push through the emotions, you set yourself aside, you minimize your own problems, just so you can get things done for other people. And in doing this, and in participating in this process of self-neglect, right? We talked about that first point of neglecting our spirit, right? We begin to also have negative health effects, right? And so in this moment, I would encourage you, again, like I said, and this is what I did, going back to the story, this is what I did when I lost my job as a paramedic, because I had PTSD. I was told it's not wise to go back and do that kind of work. And so here I was, thinking I'd found my life purpose doing this job that I actually loved. And now I had nothing at that point. And I could have dwelled, and I actually did dwell for a little while, thinking like, what's the point? What's the point of, being here? What's my purpose? Is there a purpose? What got me to move forward is simply to have faith that this was part of a much bigger plan. That's all. That was it. That this is part of a much bigger plan, and to keep moving forward, do what excites me. That is simply it. And at first, it was doing art, and it was like making music and doing things that weren't really connected at all, which led me to reading some books, which opened my mind further and led me to other opportunities, and kind of just following this breadcrumb trail and having fun while you're doing it. Now, what can we do to heal? That brings us to the third key, is because most likely we've been through this process now, neglecting our spirit, realizing there's a divine test that's happening right now, that's testing our faith in things above us, bigger than ourselves, and following the breadcrumb trail of our intuition. But we need to heal, right? So this is where the third key comes in, is release, forgive, and be present. So many times I was stuck in this, but I used to witness as a paramedic, meeting patients, where people would be so concerned, these false gods would be ruling them, fear, anger, frustration would be ruling their life to such a high degree that they are fearing the future, or they are angry at the past. And these emotions pull ourselves away from the present moment. The most important moment, and the only moment that ever exists, is right now. And you can live this moment to its deepest depth, realizing the beauty around you, recognizing everything around you with your five senses, fully immersing yourself in this current version of reality, and also while elevating yourself to the highest state that you can possibly be in for this moment. Not everyone's going to be like an enlightened guru, right? But you can try to be as positive as you can in the present moment and appreciate what's right in front of you. And in doing that, you'll actually get access to parts of your mind that are more infinite, more expansive. And this is where those intuitive ideas come up, especially if you're a creative person. You know, you're a project manager or you are a industrial designer and you're like so blocked around creating a certain project. Whatever project you may be working on, it could be an art project. In these moments, when you are able to release the anger from the past, forgive yourself, forgive the people around you for the way that things have panned out in the past, you can release that anger. And then I find meditation and journaling are the two most powerful tools. It's something I've used with my clients to help them overcome these very blocks that stop them from finding those opportunities or seeing those opportunities attract to them. Better yet, even tapping into a higher sense of intuition that then becomes like a guiding radar that they can trust over time. Because at the end of the day, you're just a radio receiver. You're matter and spirit. But the spiritual side of you, when it is healed, is able to tap into knowledge beyond time and space, which makes you more than just a physical human being that you've been told you are. And in doing this, you will unlock your inner power. You will unlock the fullest, most expansive version of yourself. And this is where you'll see people who find great success have limitless potential. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And until next time, peace.